Okay.
If anybody is staying after, the Lighthouse said that we could go there and eat lunch or whatever, but I know a bunch of you said that you weren't. So I didn't order pizza because you said you weren't. But I could put in an order. Also, there's a new county attorney. Our previous county attorney, like she took a different position. So a new county attorney is in our district, and she is going to be sworn in at 11. So they asked us to take a little recess. We're going to swear her in as the new county attorney. They said we could go sit right back there and watch, and then come back up. So I'm hoping that it falls between prosecution asking their witnesses and defense asking their witnesses, so it's a normal break and not like a weird thing. But I'll be watching, and when it gets close to 11, I'll say that we're gonna have a little recess, and we'll just go sit there really quick. They double booked the room. Let's see now.
Just to make sure things are clear, the definition of the meeting.
Did you find out, are you on?
Meeting question is one that suggests the answer desired by
Is
the
it live
question.
right
Yeah, I asked the attorney.
Just making sure we're all clear that it's a question.
Did you get one? I'm here for Mr. Jones.
I don't like it.
In case you get really sad about what happened.
Just so sad.
Mr. Checkett, is an actual judge. Is a judge.
I need to read the ending. See how you felt. How you felt.
He has to sign something.
You didn't say it. It's clearly it's not really actually. It's not entirely that sense. suppose that's why it's such a.
Does it work? You tap it.
Let's say anything crazy into that.
I think that's supposed to be in front of the lawyer.
Yeah, I believe so too. You still like to object.
You should start like breaking it down and start rapping. Okay, right up.
I mean, we're lost. Come on.
Is it more important to see the speaker or all of us?
I mean, all of us.
Okay.
She has someone turning it. That would be really nice, but we don't.
The affidavit, we start, you should turn it that way. Yes, man. I know I got this. Three, four pages for this. Snakes. It's impossible. Yeah.
Guys, if you're curious as to how much time you've used of your allotted time, because you have 4 minutes for the opening.
Say loud.
It says 4. It says 4 on the sign sheet. And then you have a total of 25 minutes for your direct examination and a total of 20 minutes for your cross-examination for all witnesses combined. So if you're curious as to like how much time you have left, you can say, Your Honor, can I know how much time I have left? And then he'll ask Ashley, and Ashley will say, you've used this much of your time. So if you're like, oh no, I'm not getting.
Right here in the time sheet says 5 minutes per side. how much time does your thing say I have for a direct?
Yeah, 4 minutes. Yeah.
So I mean, for the direct examination, it's cost.
Examination is 25 and cost is 20.
How much?
20 for cross and then
Oh,
direct is 25.
Oh, yeah, I like your time sheet better, actually. This one said that kind of level. I just put it on.
Is that 200 poster?
It's like the one thing.
Do I?
Hey guys. She wants right there. We're shorts and She wants it there. She's trash, what she did. Oh, never mind. Never mind. She's Bennett's sister. That would be, She's the defendant's sister.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, she'll definitely send it.
It's like, those things that it's not what I'm gonna do with the question. These PVC calls objects to anything I can figure out. There's something I think I can object to with that question.
So, do I get 4 minutes for my questions?
You get 8 minutes.
Does Zach get 8 minutes or is that through above time?
Both statements for those, both have 4 minutes. Both
So are we still in the voting time?
Yeah.
You mentioned having an extra time. Talk to you, or is that?
Well, it's actually, it's worse. It's just. Right, absolutely.
I love robbing gun stores. I'm so good at it. I've hit every gun store in the state of Iowa.
I feel like it's pretty much what you're saying right there.
All right, guys, so like as soon as the judge gets here and
The other jurors are good.
okay, as soon as the judge gets here and the two other jury members, we're gonna start and like you have to remain in character. If you forget something when you're up here, you can say, I don't know, or you can say, yeah, I see my affidavit. And if it has not been submitted as evidence, then your attorney will have to submit it as evidence at that time of this questioning you so that you can look at it. Does that make sense? Okay,
Actually, I do have a question.
what's your question?
In the mock trial rules and stuff, it mentioned that I should reserve time for rebuttal before my closing argument. Was that true?
So let's say after he has questioned the witnesses and after he's questioned witnesses and you have cross-examined them, if there's something that's come out that you're like, ooh, I need to address this, you can make a statement saying, this was said, but da 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 da. So you're kind of answering what was said.
And is that after his action or before his action? I have stuff like that for sure.
It's
Closing.
after.
This,
I have that.
this one has been.
Yeah, and that's fine. You don't have to have it. Okay. What were your numbers? Is it being recorded so you can see it later? Like, is there a way to like hit record on the thing or?
If it's the line, you can go back through the
So like people can log on later and go back.
No idea.
Yeah. It's rejected.
Right now.
All rise. The circuit court of Roe is now in session. The Honorable Judge Checkets presides.
Thank you. Please be seated. Well, welcome everyone to court this morning. I hope everyone's excited. Don't be scared or too nervous. This is a fun opportunity. Nobody's gonna get in trouble and nobody's actually going to jail. So just have fun with this. So I'm just gonna handle this the way I would typically. This is, if it helps you at all, this is my first mock trial. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and handle this the way I would normally handle things in magistrate court. So in this case, who is the state? Who's representing the state?
I believe I am.
Okay, so the state, go ahead and proceed. This is your case. What's that?
Are you saying my opening statement?
Yeah, go ahead and make your opening statement.
Good morning. My name is Nathaniel Wilcox, and it is my pleasure to serve as prosecutor on this case. On December 6, 2014, the defendant in this case, Bobby Dusa, drugged Addison Anderson with fentanyl, a controlled substance, and drew his basketball team's mascot on her face while she was unconscious. After doing this, he posted an image of her face on the school's Facebook page. After hearing all the evidence that we presented, I'm confident that you will overturn the verdict of guilty. Members of the jury, this case is about an impulsive young man who does not know how to properly restrain his anger, and thus chose to cause harm to an innocent person. The prosecution will call on 3 different witnesses in this trial. The victim, Addison Anderson, will be called to testify what she has seen, that she was indeed drugged, and that the side effects of the drugs caused her to lose an important gift. While she does not know who drugged her, the next witness, Dakota Sherman, was one of the defendant's closest friends. He will explain the motive for the drugging and will show how it was possible. Final witness, Leslie Chen, will be called to the stand to show conclusive evidence against the defendant, Bobby Dusa, such as fingerprints on the drug bottle, a folder of images that was frantically cleared after the Facebook post was made, and a dangerously suggestive draft email from the defendant. Members of the jury, the defense may claim that Bobby Dusa could not have done such an act, and that somebody else did it instead of him, but I encourage you to listen to those leaders. Keep in mind that more than one person could have been involved in illegal behavior, and that Bobby Dusa is on trial, not anybody else. There is clear and concise evidence that Bobby Dusa had experienced drawing his team's logo on people's faces, that he handled the drugs, and intended to cause harm. Members of the jury, I ask that you choose honesty and return verdict guilty.
Does the defense have an open statement?
Yes.
Your Honor, my name is Zachariah Kelly, representing the defendant in this case. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence I'm presenting today will indicate beyond a doubt that Bobby Dusa is innocent and will not be found guilty unless guilty beyond reasonable doubt. The prosecution is trying to prove that Bobby Dusa has drugged and assaulted Ms. Addison Anderson. However, Mr. Bobby Dusa respects Addison Anderson and would never do this. The facts will show that he has been framed by someone standing in this very room. This is not a case of trying to prove that Mr. Dusa has drugged and assaulted Ms. Addison, but rather a case to show that he has been framed. The prosecution will talk about fingerprints today, but the fingerprints were not a close enough match. Dusa has been accused of doing something impossible. He left the party before he could have touched her. Witnesses Bobby Dusa, Emerson Cannon, and Dr. Lane Juarez will be called to tell what they have seen and know for a fact. The defendant will testify and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he is innocent. Members of the jury, you cannot be guilty until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Well, let's go ahead and proceed with the state's case.
Your Honor, I would like to call Addison Anderson to the stand.
All right, come on up to the stand. Raise your right arm to swear. Do you solemnly swear that your testimony is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may proceed.
Please state your name for the court.
That's the name.
And where do you live?
Roll Oregon.
What school do you attend?
Nine.
And are you involved in the sports event?
Yes, basketball.
What do people say about your athletic skills?
So that I feel close to that.
Tell us about your basketball experience.
I do lots of blood levels and weapons from blood leveling, and I can do really good.
And what is the other main high school in Rowe? And what relationship is there between the schools?
The room is on the other side of the well, and there's lots of blood.
And where were you the night of December 5th?
I went to Dakota Sherman's party,
What was the atmosphere like at the party?
and I showed up for this probably Friday, but it was
What happened after you got there?
I got a drink.
And did anybody, did you talk to anybody at the party?
Yes,
No. Do you remember who you talked to?
probably do something.
And do you remember what he said to you?
He challenged me.
Objection. This is hearsay, Your Honor.
What's the state's response to that objection?
No objection to this.
All right, objection sustained.
Did you have a drink in your hand at this time?
Yes,
And what did you do with your drink?
I put it behind the couch.
And what did you do after that?
I went outside to play.
And how did Bobby respond to this action?
He stood there and stopped.
And so what happened after that?
I went outside to play.
And what did you do after you're done playing?
I went inside and took a drink.
And what time was this? And so once you came inside, did anything noticeable happen?
I got a little nauseous and was dizzy, so I went to the bathroom.
And what time is this?
Around that,
And describe how you felt after this.
after I went to the bathroom, I was fine,
And so what did you do with your drink when you went to the bathroom?
I came to someone who called the bathroom.
After you came out of the bathroom, how did the rest of your evening go?
I felt fine, but then around 10, I started to get dizzy and disoriented, so I went to my bedroom and laid down and then went
And do you remember what time that was that you went to the bedroom?
around 10.
So what is your next memory after this? When you got in your car, what did you see?
I looked around the mirror and I saw readers, which was brown eyes, and I saw it on my face.
And when you got home, what did you do?
I found my computer to see what happened at the party and saw a post in my face with the readers.
And what effects did the logo on your face and the dizziness from the drugs have on your game that night?
I lost the game.
So did you ever consent to taking Rohypnol?
No.
And did you ever consent to having your face drawn on?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor?
Any cross examination from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Where did you go to school?
Mountain High.
Where were you the night of December 5th, 2014?
Social Youth Fund.
Who did you hand your drink to when you went into the bathroom?
Social
Where did you fall asleep?
house.
At what time did you fall asleep? What time do you think you were drugged? Your Honor, I would like to submit Addison Anderson's affidavit as exhibit number 5.
Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Right. Exhibit is admitted. I see that exhibit.
Is this familiar to you?
Yes.
Is this your signature?
Yes.
Please read lines 19 through 23.
About 15 minutes after that, I started feeling nauseous, so I headed for the bathroom and came to Dakota and back as we passed in the hall. The nausea went away pretty quickly, and when I came out of the bathroom, Dakota handed me the cup. As I went back to take it back, we nearly dropped in most of this notice, but Dakota offered to clean it up, so I took a sip and went off the planet.
Whose house were you at when the Raiders logo was drawn? Who drove you to the party?
Myself.
Was your car still there?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Addison. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any redirect from the state?
No.
You go ahead, have a seat. Thank you. Any other evidence or testimony from the state?
I would like to call Mr. Dakota Sherman to the stand.
Mr. Sherman, please raise your right hand and swear. You solemnly swear that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
You may proceed.
Please state your name for the court. My name is Dakota Sherman. Where do you live? I live in Rowan. What school do you attend? I attend Borough High School. Are you involved in any extracurriculars at Borough? Yes, I'm a part of the Borough Pep School. And what is your relationship with the defendant? I've known Bobby for years, but as of recently, I feel like I don't know him at all anymore. Please elaborate on that aspect, please. I was running for president of Borough Pep Squad when Bobby was reelected to be president of Borough Pep Squad. And I was really upset about that, and we had a fight about that, and ever since then, nothing's been the same between us. What happened on the night of December 5th? On December 5th, I hosted a party at my house to try and motivate my team. I was going to post about it on the Borough Facebook page, but Bobby wouldn't give me the password to post on it, and so I wasn't able to. He said that he wouldn't let me do any of the president's duties. So what was the atmosphere like at the party? Everything was going fine until Addie showed up, and then things kind of went downhill from there. And he started rallying people up, and he got Bruce started singing a fight song, and teams started cracking jokes about the other teams. And did things get out of hand at any point? Yeah, things started to get out of hand about that time. elaborate on that a bit, please? Well, Bobby was getting all up in Addie's face and he challenged her to go outside and show off her skills in the traffic. I'd say that's Bobby's biggest weakness, he just doesn't know to quit. And what do you mean by that? Well, at the championship game, Addie scored a 3-pointer, which made us lose, and they won in the last few seconds of time. And Bobby was really mad about that, and so he threw a drink at Addie because he was really mad. So Bobby threw a drink at her? Yes. Did you leave the building to watch Addie play? Yes. I left the building at about 8:45 p.m. and I went to go watch Addie play. And on my way out, I passed Bobby, who seemed coming back in for some reason. I don't know why, but I asked him if everything was fine, and he said, it will be. Trust me, Addie's going to be quite a surprise. And did you see where he went? No. I thought he might have left because he was mad, but then again, I'm pretty sure I saw his car parked outside the closet. So when did you become aware that Addie's face had been drawn? The next morning when I woke up, I got on her Facebook page, and I saw that Addie had the Lakers logo on her face. So what happened after this? After that, after I did the Addie open joke, I immediately went to the police and told them everything that had happened. You mentioned in your affidavit that when you learned Addie had been drugged with retinol, a light went off in your head. Please elaborate on this. Yes, so my family went to Mexico for Thanksgiving, and we stayed in a hotel. And at the hotel we stayed in, my mom came down with insomnia. So the hotel doctor prescribed her Hypnol so that she could sleep while we were there. And she had a few leftover pills when we came back, and so she stored them in the medicine cabinet in the upstairs bathroom. So did the defendant know about the bottle of Hypnol? Yes. I told him about our trip to Mexico and about Thanksgiving stuff that we did, and I told him that my mom had some leftover pills of Hypnol. And I would believe he did ask me about that the other day, if my mom had any leftover Hypnol pills. Did the defendant know the bottle of Hypnol was stored? Yes, he's been over to my house at least 30 times, and he knows where our medicine is in the upstairs bathroom. Thank you, Mr. Shree. Any further questions?
Any cross complaints?
Yes, Your Honor. Where do you go to school?
I didn't go to high school.
What position did you serve on Pep Squad?
I don't know.
What position did you want?
I wanted to become the president of the profession.
Do you have that position now?
I unofficially took over, so I'm not actually the president, but
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to submit Dakota Sherman's affidavit as exhibit number 6.
Any objection from the state?
no objection.
Exhibit number 6 is admitted.
Do you recognize this?
Yes,
Is this your signature?
yes.
Please read lines 3 and 4 of this page.
I'm a member of the Borough Pep Squad, and for the past 2 years, I've basically been Bobby Duso's right hand in all things related.
As you know. Where were you the night of December 5th, 2014?
Was at my house
Why did you host a party?
to try and motivate my team
Why did you want to post on Facebook?
because I wanted to get the word out there so that I can as many people as come as possible.
Please read lines 16 through 19.
Bobby wasn't willing to delegate any of the president's jobs to anyone else. I refused to even give anyone else administrative access to post on the group page. Although I thought I could probably have guessed the password if it came down to it. Pretty sure it was early 2014 or something like that. No, Bobby over a decade after all.
Why did you wait to go outside?
I don't know.
Did Bobby go out before you?
Yes.
Did you see a car parked outside?
Yes.
Why was there a hypno bottle in your house?
Because when my family went to Thanksgiving, we had the bills from the hotel doctor.
Were you unaware that Miss Addison was at your house all night?
Yes.
Were you unaware when she left?
Yes.
Who did she hand her drink?
Me.
Why did you go to the police?
I went to the police to tell them everything that happened.
How much evidence did you have when you went to the police?
I don't know.
And why did you get on Facebook immediately the next day?
I wanted to check. Well, I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Dakota. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any redirect from the state?
I don't know.
Go ahead, Stan. Any other evidence or testimony from the state?
Yes. I'd like to call Leslie Chen to the scene.
Ms. Chen, please raise your right hand to swear. You solemnly swear that your testimony is true, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
You may proceed.
Please state your name and occupation for the court.
Leslie Chen, and I'm a forensic investigator.
How long have you been a forensic investigator?
I have worked with the RPD as a forensic investigator for 16 years.
And what qualifications do you have for this job?
I received a bachelor's degree in computer forensics with emphasis in computer science. And I work with the RPD. After getting a job with the RPD, I received a master's degree in forensic analysis.
Based on these qualifications, Your Honor, I would request that Leslie Chen be qualified as an expert.
Any objection from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
What is your involvement with this case?
I became involved with this case on December 8th. I accompanied the arresting officer to the Dusa residence where I confiscated a cell phone, and I also received a bottle of fentanyl.
And what did you do with the bottle of fentanyl that you collected?
I took both of these items back to the RPD for forensic analysis.
I would like to introduce exhibit number 2 into evidence.
Any objection from the defense?
No objections.
Yes. Exhibit is admitted.
Can you please identify exhibit number 2?
Yes, this is the bottle of rohypnol that I extracted the defendant's fingerprints from.
And whose fingerprints on it?
Bobby Dusa.
How do you know that Bobby's fingerprints are on the bottle?
One of these fingerprints was an 8-point match, but the second was a 12-point match. In general, the large majority of the forensic community considers a 12-point match as a conclusive match as evidence.
And what did you do with the smartphone that you collected?
With the smartphone, I looked for any photos and things that could be presented as evidence. On the smartphone, I found a draft email from the defendant intended to be sent to Dakota Sherman. I also found a photos file that had been emptied, and I found a Google search for the side effects of rohypnol.
Remind us again whose phone this is.
This is the defendant Bobby Dusa's phone.
How did you conduct the analysis?
To conduct this analysis, I used a software system called Forensics Magician. In the forensics community, this is a very trusted software to conduct our searches, and it is always very accurate.
I'd like to introduce exhibit number 3 into evidence.
Any objection from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Exhibit number 3 is admitted.
Please identify exhibit 3 to the court.
This is the draft email from Bobby Dusa intended to be sent to Dakota Sherman.
And please read the contents of these emails.
Hey Dakota, let's make sure everybody is capitalized, has a Raiders logo on their face tomorrow. He sent a winking face. Go Raiders, all caps.
That would be all.
Any cross-examination defense?
Yes, Your Honor. What do you specialize in?
Forensics.
How long have you worked with RPD?
I worked with the RPD for 16 years.
Where were you on December 11th, 2014?
I don't know.
Whose house was the Rohypnol bottle at?
The Deuce residence?
Was it?
I don't know where.
What was the Rohypnol bottle at Dakota Sherman's house?
Objection. Asked and answered already.
Sustained.
How close do the fingerprints have to be considered a conclusive match?
In the forensic community, a 12-point match is generally accepted as a fully conclusive match. A small minority of the forensic community believes that an 18 to 20-point match is conclusive evidence. But in all my years of being a forensic, I and the community that I work with, it is accepted, a 12-point match is accepted as conclusive evidence.
How close were the fingerprints that you found?
The first was an 8-point match, but the second was a complete 12-point match.
Is it possible to find deleted files and photos?
Yes, it is.
Did you ever find the photo on Mr. Deuce's phone?
I did not find the photo, but I did find the photos file that had been completely wiped.
Thank you, Miss Leslie. No further questions.
Any redirect from the state?
No.
Any other evidence or testimony from the state?
No.
State dress?
Yeah.
Any evidence or testimony from defense?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call the defendant, Bobby Dusa, up at this time.
Mr. Dusa, please raise your right hand to the swear. Do you solemnly swear that your testimony will be the truth and that you will nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may proceed.
State your name for the jury.
Bobby Dusa,
What school did you?
Borough High School.
What was your relationship to Dakota Sherman like?
He and Dakota were good friends up until his trial. His jealousy over me being president really got in the way of our relationship.
And where were you the night of December 5th, 2014?
I was at a party at Dakota Sherman's house.
In your own words, describe the party.
The party was fun. A lot of it was very innocent, joking, chants, stuff like that. And I try and keep things peaceful between both sides. I generally keep it level so that no one's getting out of hand. And I think I did a good job at that.
Did anyone ever go outside?
Yes. Once we started leading chants, we kind of started to gather around Addie Anderson because we wanted to prove that she really was who she said she was, a great basketball player. It was all just fun. We let her outside to play basketball.
Did anyone stay inside?
We all went outside at the same time, except for Dakota Sherman. I think he stayed inside for a while.
When did you leave the party?
Around 8:45.
What was your reaction to seeing the photo on Facebook the next day?
When I first saw that photo, I really didn't think anything of it. I didn't have the full context, so I liked the photo because I thought it was just a hype joke.
Tell me about the game on December 6th.
The game was going great. I was super excited because we were actually winning for the first time in a long time. So I really, at that time, I wasn't thinking about what happened to Addie, but I wasn't thinking about what happened to her or anything like that. I was happy we were winning.
Did you ever ask about or touch the bottle of Red?
I don't remember touching the bottle right at home, so. But if I really did, it was when Dakota invited me over to his house. I was having trouble sleeping before the game due to stress, and I had heard that Rohypnol was used for sleeping, and I just asked Dakota about it. If I ever touched it, which I don't remember doing, it would have been that.
And why did you Google it?
I had Googled the side effects of Rohypnol because of my sleep troubles. I was looking into taking Rohypnol, and if I did, I wanted to be aware of the side effects.
Thank you, Mr. Dusa. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any cross examples?
Yes. So please state your name again for the court.
Bobby Dusa.
And are you involved in any extracurriculars at Borough High School?
I was pep squad president for 2 years.
And what is your school's mascot?
The Raiders.
And how loyal are you to your team?
I'm a pretty big fan. I'm at every game. I'm pretty loyal. I'd say I'm probably the biggest Raiders fan you'll ever meet.
And would you be willing to do anything to help the Raiders win the games?
No.
I would like to submit Bobby Dusa's affidavit as evidence.
Any objections from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Further be submitted?
Please read. Have any question?
If there was anything I could do to help the Raiders put up a good fight, I was going to do it. It was the only one.
So last year, Hamilton High School beat your school in the state championship. How did you feel?
I was devastated. Embarrassed.
Could you read?
Everybody, including me, was eager for payback.
In your affidavit, you mentioned that the first week of December is your school's Pride Week. And how did you celebrate your school's Pride Week last year?
Pride Week is my favorite week. Last year I went all out. I dressed all in borough gear. I decorated my locker with borough stuff. Even my car had borough stickers and stuff like that. I led chants, all the pep squad president stuff.
Did you make any special clothing for celebration?
Yes, I made a custom burrow jacket,
And what color was the burrow?
red and black.
In your affidavit, you mentioned painting the Raiders logo on people's faces. Can you elaborate on this?
Yeah, that's something that I did last year. I was kind of a thing to get people hyped up, just face paint.
And was it difficult to draw the logo at first?
It's a hard logo to draw, but I think that anybody could really draw it if they had a little bit of practice. It's not impossible to draw.
And would you say you've gotten good at drawing?
Pretty good. It's been a year since I've drawn it.
So, did you create a Facebook page for your Raiders?
Yes.
Did you ever share the password for this account?
No.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure.
And where were you on the night when you sent the
I was at Dakota Sherman's party.
Describe the atmosphere.
Friendly rivalry, chanting, cheering, stuff like that.
Did you see Addie Anderson?
I did.
Did you challenge Addie to show her skills outside?
Yes, I did.
Did you exit the building to watch her play?
Yes.
Describe your thoughts as you watch her.
Well, I think she's a great player. I wouldn't be surprised if she wins the big leagues one day. She's really great, and watching her just made me feel a sense of loss because we don't have anyone like that on our team. Anyone as great as Addie. So I felt like we were going to lose.
And did you wish any harm to her?
No.
Please read this highlighted portion.
I guess I hoped that Addie would totally mess up or even sprain her wrist or ankle and be unable to play the next day.
Did you know that Dakota Sherman had a on his house?
I did.
Did you know about the effects and risks of this drug?
Yes.
So what did you do after watching Addie play?
Well, I after watching her play and seeing that we were probably going to lose, I wanted to go home and prepare and try and get ready for the big game the next day. So I went home.
When did you become aware that Addie's face had been drawn?
I don't know exactly the time when I found out. I'd like to say it was the day of the big game.
And did you post this picture?
No, I don't recall posting the picture.
But didn't you say earlier that you had never given the password to face input?
Objection, leading the witness.
It's not even witness this very fact that it's established.
Just re-ask the question in a way that's not leading.
Did you ever give the password to your Facebook account?
No,
In your affidavit, you mentioned a deleted draft email that was recovered from your phone. What was the intended purpose of this email?
that draft email contained a picture of me with a Raiders logo face painted, and I had sent it to Dakota to get his opinion on doing the same thing this year. I ended up deleting that email because I wanted to think of something better to do, more original.
I'd like to enter exhibit number 3 into evidence.
Any objection from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Exhibit number 3 is admitted.
this the draft email you wrote?
Yes.
Please read the contents of the email for the court.
Hey Dakota, let's make sure everybody has a Raiders logo on their face tomorrow. Go Raiders.
Are you sure that this email was intended to act Dakota about changing of the faces?
Well, he knew about what we did last year, so when I sent a photo of me with a Raiders logo on my face, I was sure that he would understand what I meant by that.
Thank you, Mr. User. That would be all now. Questions?
Any redirect from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Motion down. Any other evidence or testimony from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to call up the next witness, Emerson Gannon.
Where you solemnly swear that your testimony will be true, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you, go ahead.
State your name for the jury.
Emerson Hayden,
What school do you go to?
Hamilton High,
Did you go to any schools before that?
Brock High School,
Where were you the night of December 5th, 2014?
Dakota School,
Whose house was the party at?
Dakota's.
Why did you go to the party?
I heard Addison was going to be there and I wanted to ask her questions on how to upgrade it.
Describe the party in your own words.
It was fun. Bobby has a good way of keeping things fun but not over the top and crazy.
Did anyone go outside or leave the party?
Yes, everybody went outside to see Addison's skills except for Dakota.
And where was Dakota?
He was around the couch where Addie had left his phone.
And did you go back inside?
Yes, I went back inside to get my phone because I knew my parents would be mad at me if I missed calls.
And about what time was this?
9.
Did you see anyone inside?
Yes. I saw someone on top of the stairs. But it was dark and I couldn't make out who it was. But it couldn't have been Bobby because he was outside.
Are you aware that he left at 8:45?
Yes.
What was Miss Addison's response to seeing you?
She told me to beat it and said that maybe I'd make varsity next year.
Thank you, Miss Cannon. That is all, Your Honor.
Any cross-examination from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Please state your name again for the court.
Emerson Hayden,
And what high school do you attend?
Hamilton High,
Have you attended any other schools in the past?
Brock High School.
And did you ever attend any borough pep rallies?
Yes.
How many?
1.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
Tell us your recollection of the pep rally you attended.
I don't know.
I'd like to submit affidavit of Emerson Cannon for terrorists.
Any objection from the defense?
No objections, Your Honor.
Submitted.
Could you please read?
During the first and only pep rally I went to at Brook, Bobby jumped up on a table and led an insulting chant about how bad Hamilton's team was. I'm pretty sure Bobby mentioned Addie and other Hamilton players by name.
And where were you on the night of December 5th?
At the party?
Did you see Bobby at the Sherman residence when he crowd?
Yes.
Do you remember what he was doing?
He was, no, I don't remember.
Did you ever leave the building?
Yes.
Why?
I went to see Addie's basketball skills.
Did you come back into the house later?
Yes.
And what did you see?
I saw someone standing on top of the stairs.
Do you remember what this person was wearing?
A red and black jacket.
What other questions?
Any redirect from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
You have to see. Any further evidence or testimony from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I would like to call my next witness, Dr. Lane Juarez.
Dr. Juarez, can you please raise your right hand and swear? Do you solemnly swear that your testimony is the truth, the truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may proceed.
State your name for the jury.
Dr. Lane Juarez.
And what is your job?
I am an ER physician at Newburgh Hospital,
And how long have you been practicing emergency medicine?
10 years.
And can you describe for me what you do in your job?
I commonly test for alcohol and controlled substances in the ER room and treat ER patients.
And what are some of the side effects?
Dizziness, confusion, loss of motor control, loss of muscle control, loss of consciousness, and
Your Honor, I would like to submit the affidavit of Lane Juarez as evidence.
Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Do you recognize this?
yes,
And is this your signature?
yes.
Please read lines 5 and 6 of the page that allows. This page.
Rohypnol also typically is both fast and long acting. The drug's effects almost always begin within 30 minutes of ingestion, generally peak within 2 hours and may persist for up to 8 hours.
Please read lines 18 through 21 of the same page.
Symptoms started to appear, but Addison was sure about feeling dizzy, confused, and disappointed soon after returning from the bathroom. Addison also stated that Addison couldn't remember anything.
So, soon after returning from the bath.
Yes,
When was Miss Addison most likely drugged?
between 9 and 10 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Juarez. No further questions.
Any cross from the state?
Please state your name again.
Dr. Lane Juarez.
And what qualifications do you have for this job?
I got my undergraduate at Stanford University. I did my degree at Johns Hopkins University, and I had my residency at the Health and Science Center of Oregon.
And do you have experience performing the test that screens for the presence of rohypnol?
I do.
On December 7th, did you test Addison Anderson for the presence of rohypnol?
I did.
I would like to introduce exhibit number 4 in evidence.
Any objection from the defense?
No objection, Chairman.
Exhibit 4 is exhibit.
Can you please identify exhibit number 4 for the court?
This is it. This is the drug test from Newburgh Hospital for rohypnol in Addison's system.
And what were the findings of your test?
There was trace amounts of rohypnol, flunitrazepam, in Addison's system.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. I'll do all your own.
Thank you.
Yes, you left your hand.
Redirect from the defense?
No.
You have a seat. Any further evidence or testimony from the defense?
No further evidence, Chairman.
So the defense rests.
Yes, Chairman.
All right. Does the state wish to make a closing argument?
Yes. Members of the jury, have you ever been humiliated before? You remember that devastating feeling of shame? Would you ever want to relive it? This is exactly what has been done to Addie Anderson, who did not do anything to deserve it. She was drugged, injured, and humiliated simply for giving basketball her all. Should a crime like this go unpunished? No, it should not. My job is to show beyond reasonable doubt that Bobby Dusa has drugged and humiliated Addie. Simply look at the evidence and the truth will be obvious. Bobby clearly wished harm on Addie. He said so himself. He is clearly an impulsive person, the kind that does wrong things without thinking first. Even his friends admit that. He brought a full cup of soda at Addie simply for winning a basketball game. He constantly leads insulting chants about others, and he got so carried away trying to insult Addie that he worked himself into a fit. And now, he's harmed, humiliated, and innocent person. Bobby clearly had the knowledge and means necessary to do these acts. As he said himself, he was the only person with the password to the Facebook page. His fingerprints were on the bottle of Rohypnol. He wrote an email telling a friend that everybody would have a Raiders logo on their face. He deleted all his photos from his phone after the Facebook post was made. He was near the medicine cabinet while everyone else was outside. He fully understood the side effects of Rohypnol. There's no good reason to believe that Bobby Dusa did not commit the crimes he is charged. Could Dakota have been involved? Quite possibly. It's quite likely that Dakota kept his mouth shut about Bobby's actions until the game so that he could incriminate Bobby later and take his place as Pep Park. However, there is no good evidence that Dakota drugged Addie or drew on her face. Bobby Dusa is still guilty as charged. Bobby clearly had the motive and the means to drug Addie and draw on her face. He said himself that he was good at drawing the Raiders logo on people's face, even though it is difficult to do. He said that he would do anything to help the Raiders, and as we now see, he was not kidding. It was Bobby who caused Addie to unwillingly ingest a controlled substance, caused physical side effects from Rohypnol, and harassed Addie by humiliating her. He went back inside Dakota's house after everybody else left, and he knowingly drugged her drink with Rohypnol without her consent. After Addie had blacked out, Bobby knowingly drew the Raiders logo on her face without her consent. Members of the jury, the state of this place is clear. The defendant is guilty beyond reasonable doubt. The law fits. Bobby Dusa is guilty.
As the defense of the closing argument.
Yes, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what I would like you to realize today is that Bobby Dusa is innocent. He went outside and then left the party, so would never have had the chance to drug Miss Addison. And Bobby left around 8:45. According to Dr. Juarez, it most likely happened sometime after 9 o'clock. And why would Bobby go back to the party? Also, Dakota was handed the drink around the time Miss Addison was drugged. Dakota also claimed he could easily figure out the Facebook password. And on top of that, Miss Addison fell asleep at Dakota's house. The car seen later that night most likely belonged to Miss Addison Anderson. And the crazy part is, Miss Lieselshen knows that the fingerprints are not close enough matches to be considered valid, but they are being accepted as Mr. Dusa's anyway. Bobby Dusa is innocent beyond a reasonable doubt. The jacket seen was most likely a Borough jersey. His jacket was the school colors, not anything unique. If there is any doubt whatsoever, Mr. Dusa cannot and will not be guilty. Bobby Dusa is innocent beyond a reasonable doubt, and I feel I have proven that to you. I know you will find the defendant, Bobby Dusa, innocent today. That is all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Does the state wish to offer a rebuttal argument?
Thank you. Members of the jury, I would like you to know that most of these points he's making are weak. He says that the fingerprint that Leslie Chen found on the Rohypnol bottle is not accepted, is not a strong enough point match to be accepted as Bobby Dusa's fingerprint, even though the majority of the forensic community accepts it as a match and use that evidence in court. Also, the car seen outside would easily have been Bobby's car, and he could easily have lied about not leaving the party, about leaving the party. Dakota would have known Bobby well because he had been friends with him for years, and so he would not have mistaken Bobby's car for somebody else's. And that's all.
All right, thank you. Well, normally in an usual jury trial at this point, there's a number of things we would do, one of which would be to go over jury instructions. In this case, I'm going to guess that we're just going to go ahead and go straight to letting the jury deliberate, or what's?
Yeah, they have their forms and they're supposed to deliberate. And I know at 11, the new county attorney is sworn, so it would be a little recess while they deliberate on that.
Okay, so in that case, we will jury deliberate, and just as a reminder, what it takes is one juror for the defendant to be acquitted. So in other words, for the state to, to reach a conviction here of the defendant, the jury would have to be unanimous in finding the defendant guilty. So just keep that in mind. And so for now, we're in recess and we'll reconvene in about 10 minutes or how long do you think we need?
She's gotta do a whole Zoom thing.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
So 15 minutes, if you need more time, just let us know.
Should they go in there or where should we go?
True.
Yeah, jury room is just outside. Actually, is the jury room in this courthouse across
It's in
the
the
hall?
back corner, right by the clerk's office. Should be at least, should be a big enough room.
We're back in 15 minutes or more.
All right. All right. Yeah.
Just give you a quick sheet.
That's awesome.
Very exciting. But I can.
So I have to.
You did. It does feel like the prosecution had to think way too much about Colors on your tie?
Once it goes to warrant, and they have to do it.
Yeah.
Here.
On that, yeah.
As soon as it goes to warrant. Because if you have a warrant.
No.
Not really, I think, as soon as it goes to warrant.
That screen's gonna come down, so be careful.
Okay, I'm moving. I'm done with this.
Oh, awesome, thank you. Here, do you wanna?